I have a never before heard phone call recording from some random inmate in South Carolina. Somehow got a hold of Buster Murdaugh's phone number and he made a phone call to him. Kind of play that for you. It's pretty quick, but after that, I want to weigh in here and give some insight and a little bit of input and bring some stuff to your attention, just something to think about. Okay. If you don't know, if it's your first time viewing one of my videos on this Alec Murdaugh Buster subject, I've done 10 years in the same prison system that Alec Murdaugh is currently in. So I know a little something about how it goes. And yeah, let me play you this quick recording and then we'll get into it.
Please hold.
Hello?
Hello, this is a call from. To hear your payment options, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up or press 1. Your card was charged successfully. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Hello? Hello?
Hey, who is this? Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? Is this Murdaugh, son? Hello?
Yeah? How can I help you?
Yes, sir. This is a good friend of his, man. I really care about him a lot. And I was just checking up on him, man. This Tony.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I ain't called with no bad intention. Me and Murdaugh were real close. We was in Mike going together. And that's really my buddy, man. I love him. And just tell him next time you speak to him, tell him Tony called to tell him keep his head up, man. And I love him, man. I just want to check on him.
Okay. All right, I'll let him know.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. I ain't mean to bother you, man. Just please tell him Tony said, say, hey, man, and he love you. He's thinking about you, man, and keep your head up.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, man. Have a good day.
Listen, it's got to be the most pointless, and at least from Buster's perspective, the most pointless and stupidest and most random call. Why are you calling me? Who are you? How did you get my number? Right. But I do want to let me just bring some stuff to your attention. Just me knowing I've been there a decade and I know how inmates operate. And this audio recording was all in all about 5 minutes long. I cut it down to what you heard, which is pretty much about 45 seconds of conversation. So the rest is just Buster going through the automated voices tone. And so number one, it's standard for it to be like, you have a collect call from, and then there's a blank pause. And that's where the inmate calling is supposed to be like, me, Joe, so that you know who it is. And this inmate chooses not to say anything, which is something commonly done. You're really only going to hear or not hear someone, they're not going to say their name when they're calling someone that they're maybe not supposed to be calling, or that they know is going to be suspicious if it's any other name other than probably the loved one that they have in prison. So this guy chooses not to say his name. So it's like, you have a collect call from, and it's just dead silence. And you hear the background of the cell block echoing. So Buster's, I'm sure, like, what the heck? Why is Dad not saying, it's me, son, Dad, Papa Murdaugh, whatever he says. And then another thing, you hear him, Buster, so he doesn't know, is this Dad calling, or is this someone calling with emergency important news about Dad? Has something happened to him? And so he follows all the prompts from this automated voice to put money on this guy's phone call account because, it's collect. So now this guy gets Buster to charge his card. The automated voice says, your card has been successfully charged. Buster spends his money to fill up this account for phone calls or whatever they want to use it for, just to get whatever message is trying to come through, because he thinks it's probably important. Maybe it's my dad. Maybe something's happened. Who knows? I don't know. But because I want to know, I'm going to pay this money. All right. So he does that, and then the call's finally able to connect. And he picks up and he's like, hello? And it's this idiot. Yeah, it's Tony, man. I love your daddy, man. Your daddy's real cool. I love him, man. We're good buddies in here. Yeah, I'm sure you're great buddies. Okay. Let me tell you, it could be one of several things going on here, just from what I know and what I've seen, and just common little finesses, if you want to call it that. This inmate, there was no purpose to this call. He somehow got a hold of Buster Murdaugh's number, and there are inmates who will, if they know that you have someone out there who's got some money, and they'll send you some money or something like that. I mean, there's devious inmates who will, when you're in the bathroom, they'll go through your mail, they'll go through your little, a lot of inmates keep a little piece of paper hidden away with all their contact numbers on it of important people that they may need to call, because hey, everybody can't memorize those numbers for years and years and all that. So a lot of people will have like a little book or a little paper with all their people's numbers on it. This is a known thing. If you're out there in the shower or doing something, man, your cellmate or somebody might go through your stuff and find these numbers, and usually what they're trying to do is find like a parent. And man, there's all type of tricks they'll do. They'll call home and be like, your son's in trouble. He's gotten himself into a sticky situation. He owes some money. You need to send some money here, which is really going to them, to help him out. Or you'll see them try to get the phone number of girls, like, hey, listen, if you're the type of girl who will hold down this guy and stick it out with him while he's in prison, well, I'm a better man than him, so you might as well get with me, baby girl. Like just stupid stuff like that. But inmates will rummage through and get these numbers. I imagine that's probably how he got Buster's number, because okay, you're good buddy. No, I really love him, man. We're good buddies. Let's think about Alec Murdaugh. Okay. Do you think Alec Murdaugh really made good Lord, where have you been all my life, Tony? You were just the best friend I've ever met, and I can't believe it happened here in cell block 23. Like, do you think Alex or even Tony, you think they really just like, oh my God, we're kindred spirits. You're the best friend I've ever met. No, doubt it. Okay. This inmate is up to no good. You don't have friends in jail. You have acquaintances at best. These are not friends. And he's not calling Buster like, dude, no, that's not going on. You're calling Buster without, I guarantee you, Alex would not approve of this. He doesn't have permission. He stole this phone number or got this somehow without Alec knowing. And I don't know what exactly he was trying to do, but I'll tell you this, he's trying to feel out. If I had to bet some money, he's trying to feel out Buster and like present himself as this guy who's just really good friends with Alec. And he's, he wanted to really approach this like, hey man, I took care of him and made sure he was safe. And man, we're good buddies. We got each other's back. I'm the best friend he's got in here. And, blah, blah, blah. And kind of build that whole storyline up. And he probably, depending on how this call went, but then he sensed, he's an inmate. He's going to sense that Buster's like, okay. I'll tell him, like Buster wasn't really feeding into it. He probably was hoping, he was just shooting a shot in the dark, hoping he'd be able to, like, I don't know, maybe get some like courtesy money from Buster or something like that. I mean, there's literally no reason. I care. I did 10 years in that same prison system. I've met 6, 7, 8 people, which is a lot when you're talking about inmates in prison who are only in there worrying about their own survival and their own self. I mean, that's just how it is. That's the environment. So to meet 6 or 7 people who I genuinely care about, like I genuinely hope that you're safe and that you do okay and that you make it out of here alive and you don't get stabbed to death, and that, you get out and are, you have some type of future. I mean, you're, you did bad stuff, but like at your core, you're a pretty decent guy and I respect you. And, I wish good things for you. I would never, ever call their father, their mother, their sister, their brother and be like, "Hey man, it's me. It's JSP, man. I was in this cell block with so and so, man, and I love him so much, man. He's so cool. We're such good friends, man. Just tell him I love him, man." Dude, get out of here. Oh, no. No. If they find out about that inmate, they're going to be pissed. They're going to be like, "Why did you call my family?" Dude, send a message to me. Even if we're in different prisons, different jails, like inmates know how to get messages to each other. You didn't have to call my family. Don't be called. That's like, let me tell you something. In prison, family is like sacred ground. You don't mess with family members, kids, like my daughter, my kid. Like, I don't care if they're the most hated inmate in that cell block. Like if you go on visit with this person and they're meeting their kids, like you let them be. Like family is kind of sacred ground. And then like once family leaves, or like family's out of the equation, like in the cell block, hey man, it is what it is, man. No. But dude, you don't mess with people's family. Like that's just kind of a thing. I guarantee you this inmate's up to no good. If I was a betting man, he's trying to feel out Buster and see if he can get some courtesy money, even if it doesn't seem that way. Well, that's the point. It's not supposed to seem that way, but he's feeling him out and he's trying to present himself as a good guy. I'm on Alex's side. Your dad, I love him. We're friends. We hold hands and dance around the cell together. We've shared our life stories. We're just oh my gosh, we're just such good buddies, man. Tell him I care about him. I love him so much. And then the next call, if that would have gone well and he's like, "Oh, well, I'll tell him, man. Yeah, thanks for being such a good guy to my dad." Like if it would have went like that, I guarantee you he would have been like, another call or two later, like, "Hey, man, listen, man. Tell Alec, man, I sure am hungry. Don't got much commissary money, man." And just trying to like guilt trip, prod and poke Buster in him. "Well, hey, listen, man, hey, a friend of my dad is a friend of mine, man. What do you need? Maybe $20 or so. I think that's what's going on here. But it just sucks that Buster's getting hit up by random inmates who are up to no good. But yeah, I wanted to share that. It's never been posted anywhere. No one's had access to this. You know how I had access to it? As always, the YouTube channel Phone Calls from Prison. We collaborate and work together a lot. Phone Calls from Prison, always getting the exclusive phone calls for us. They have this full phone call posted on their channel right about now. Go check them out. And we got more coming. You better believe. They have more coming, but they like to send it to me and just get my thoughts on it. But yeah, man, good people. Go check them out. Go subscribe. Thanks to them again for providing the call to me and being okay with me doing a video on it.